I just got my hands on the brand new Wyze, which includes 2 door window sensors, a motion detector, and a wireless bridge, all for around $20. And all of that is smaller than the original Wyze. Let's check it out. Now, Wyze is tearing up the market with their low budget, amazing cameras, just destroying the competition that's charging 4 to 5 times as much. And just recently, they released now their door sensors and their motion detector. So let's go ahead and jump into this box and see what comes with it. Now, don't be surprised how small this package is. It does have all 4 sensors in there, even though it's smaller than the original Wyze. Once you open it up, you see this little pin, this little metal pin. You actually need this, so do not throw it away. It looks like a pin that you use for a SIM card. Definitely keep that because you might need that in the future. Next, you have the wireless bridge, and what this does is bridge between your Wyze cams. This plugs in the back of your Wyze, and it will actually communicate with the door sensors and the motion detector. Now, they couldn't use technology like Wi-Fi. It's just going to be using too much battery, so they came up with their own technology, and they say the batteries in these sensors will last 12 months. Of course, that depends on how often you use it, but on average about 12 months. In addition to the bridge, you get 2 door/window sensors and a motion detector, and look how small these things are. They're incredibly small. I can't say they are the smallest sensors I've ever seen, but comparing to my last ones, these things are in a league of their own. Even the motion sensor, wow, that is small. On the back of all the sensors, there is adhesive, which will permanently glue this down in place where you want to put this. If you just want a temporary placement, I definitely do recommend some command strips. That way you can easily remove them and move them to a new location. Inside the door sensors, you can see the battery is a 1632, and they do mention it lasts about a year. That little squiggly little metal thing is the antenna. You can actually, if you shake it, you can hear it a little bit, so just make sure you don't play with that. If you drop in, that thing breaks. These things probably will not work. Inside the motion sensor is a CR2450 battery, which they also say lasts about a year. Now let's go ahead and set this up. It is super easy. You do want to make sure that you update the app. They have put out some new firmware, so you definitely want to update all the cameras and everything possible to make sure you have the newest software. Once you do that, all you need to do is plug in the wireless bridge in the back of any of Wyze. It could be version 1, version 2, or the Wyze pan. I did notice a lot of noise coming from the bridge as I was putting this in. Felt like something was moving on the inside. I checked out some of the forums, and everyone is having this noise. I don't know if it's the antenna moving or something, but you just want to make sure you're careful with this. As long as it's in a camera that's not going to be dropped, it should be a-okay. And once you get the blue light, you're good to go. Let's go ahead and jump into the app and go ahead and add these sensors, which is super easy to do. Click on the top right, those 3 little dots, hit add a product, and then pick which sensor you want to pick. I'm going to do contact. Now this is asking you which camera you like to link to. That's talking about the bridge, so that's the only one that I have. They say you will only need 1 bridge per household, but that's really depending on what size house you have. Most people are going to only use 1, but if you have like a 15,000 square foot house, guess what, guys? You're going to need more bridges. They say that 1 bridge can handle up to 100 sensors, so if you have more than 100 sensors, you're going to have a need for that second bridge also. Once you do that, you're going to take that little pin that we found earlier and press the little button it tells you to on the sensor, and hold that till the little LED lights up blue. You will get some voice prompts from the camera itself to let you know that things are successful. And once you do that, go ahead and name the device. This one I'm going to name front door, and that's it. You are all set up. Now go ahead and go to the location and set this up. You can put this anywhere you want to. You can put one on your front door, you can put one on your back door, you can put one on your side door, you can put one on a sliding glass door. I've seen people put it on washing machines and mailboxes. You can even put it on your garage door. Setting up the motion sensor was just as easy. Click the three dots, hit add a product, select which product, which we're doing the motion sensor. We're going to say it's going to the office bridge.
Wyze bridge is ready to be connected.
And then get that little pin back out and go ahead and hold the button in for 3 seconds until you get the steady blue light.
Connection is successful.
Go ahead and name the device. I'm going to be putting mine near the bed. That way when I get out of bed in the middle of the night, I'm going to trigger some lights under the bed. I'm going to be putting LED lights, so definitely stay tuned for that video. Now that these things are all set up, let's see what they can do. Of course, notifications is extremely important. You want to know when things are open, when things are closed, and when things are left open for a certain amount of time. So here's the settings for the Wyze contact sensors. Very cool. And then you have sensor videos, which is based off of the sensor. If it opens or closes, it's going to start sending you a video notification. Say for instance, dog walks by, normally a camera will set that notification off, but if you set this up properly, it's not going to send you a notification until that door is open. So you can set this up differently so you actually don't get those false alerts. And the motion sensor has very similar settings. You have the notifications where it detects motion and becomes clear. In my initial testing, it actually becomes clear around 50 seconds or so, and then it can re-trigger. Now I will be doing additional tests in the near future, so definitely stay tuned for my full review. I did expect Ifttt support, but unfortunately when I went into my account, I only saw my cameras. Per the website, it's supposed to be working, but per their forum, there's been some talk about it being delayed. Hopefully they are getting up and running pretty soon. Now one of the things I was wondering, and you probably are too, is how close does the magnet need to be near the sensor to trigger it being closed or being open? So the best way I could do this is with a little tape measure, and in my testing it was just shy of under an inch going to the closed mode, and when I pulled it back out, it right about the inch mark is when it triggered that it was open. So you do have a little bit of playroom, so as long as you're within about an inch, you're good to go. I'll be doing more testing for the full review, so definitely I hope you would consider subscribing so you get notified of that new video when I do put it out. In the meanwhile, I will be updating my pros and cons list, so if you guys want a link, there's a link down in the description to my full pros and cons list, so definitely check that out. So as you can see, these things are pretty cool, especially for $20, where you get 3 sensors plus the bridge. I mean, you really can't beat that, so I definitely highly recommend these. You might want to wait until they have Ifttt up and running, but if you just want to go ahead and get set up, that's fine too. Like I bought 2 kits and I'm already set up. I'm ready to rock and roll. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I will definitely answer those. And if you haven't already seen my Wyze Cam review, definitely check that out. And I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great night.